on jump 21 out of the Cessna 182, I went ahead and this one essentially after that I got everything checked off. The 2 docks was the main thing I needed to get checked off, besides like accuracy, which I just needed like 2 more accurate jumps within 20 meters of the target. So I went ahead, I started trying to identify like how to fall faster. So I went ahead, did my, went ahead 10K jump, whatever, I was totally fine. Went ahead, started, I was arching harder to try and keep up, with some of the other instructors that were jumping with other students. I went ahead and I was trying to fall, see if I could at least visualize, see myself, even though we're out in the distance, see if I could fall, not faster, but at least make up some, be able to fall. It sucks falling so slowly because as you do, it sucks because everyone else is falling out. Anyway, so I went ahead, did front flips, back flips. I went ahead, did my practice track. I went ahead and deployed. I was totally fine until my canopy fell on the taxiway. Shit. So that's one. Anyway, jump 22, backflip exit. This is a hop and pop. Backflip exit. I went ahead and as I go to deploy, I roll to my back because I look down. It's a habit I'm trying to break. So I went ahead and pulled on my back, thinking, well shit, here we go, I'm gonna be a yo-yo. So, but with what my instructor told me, with the last time I pulled low, I didn't want that to happen again. So I went ahead, I pulled. I see one of the most shocking things I've seen, which is what we call a pilot chute in tow. And essentially the pilot chute wasn't getting enough air to pull that pin. So I'm thinking, crap. I quickly roll over to my stomach and I went ahead and pulled like on my back. I went ahead, pulled on my back. It was in tow. As I recognized it was a pilot chute in tow, I went ahead, I rolled over to my stomach. I went ahead, grabbed my one handle system, which is my cutaway and deploy in my reserve. I went ahead, grabbed it, and I was getting ready because the ground was coming up. So I went ahead and I, was getting ready till I felt that shudder. And it's like a kind of a shudder of the container opening. So I quickly let go of my emergency handle and it opens. I had line twists, but I kicked them out. So with that, scared shit out of me. According to my instructors, what they think happened was when I threw, I just held out my pilot chute and I just let go instead of throwing it because it was in burble. So essentially it's like following a race car, if you're behind them, the wind's not pushing on you as much until you get out there. So essentially the same thing. My pilot chute wasn't inflated enough to pull. Cool, but thankfully everything went up fine. Anyway, so that was jump 22, September 13th. This is freaking awesome. This one, jump 23, is one of the most funnest skydives I've done. It is a sunset skydive, and I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen your town at sunset from the sky. Only like a few pilots and paramotor and hang gliders or whatever can say they've seen it. It's freaking amazing. Especially we have a lake that was just a sheer orange. and it was the most amazing. And good news is we got video of it for a high pull. So I'll go ahead, I'll post that video. But this is a linked exit with a couple other of the skydivers who were, you know, instructing me and helping me out. So went ahead, and it was a high pull. We jumped at 12.5, but we decided to pull at 8. According to the pilot, he recommends we pull at 8, so we pulled at 8. So went ahead, had a good, I don't know, 30 seconds of free fall, 27 seconds of free fall. So it was fun. And then I did, it was cool just flying like semi close, but not too close to other people under canopy who, one of my friends who did crew was, you know, kind of cool, just not close, but to the point where we could yell and, you know, yell at each other and just freaking, it was awesome. So anyway, I have that video here and I will post it now.
So open that
With that being said, that was jump 23. Jump 24. Went ahead, solo exit, and then went ahead and did my check dive requirements with an instructor. Good thing is everything turned out well. It was an 8K jump, popped at 4.5K. So freaking, it was stoked because this was the first jump of the day that I was going to reveal to my parents that, hey, I'm a skydiver, which is cool. Then finally, after about freaking ever since July 21st, it was September 14th. The day that I, almost 1 year since my tandem skydive, my first tandem skydive at that same place. Like exactly a year later, it was this day. So September 14th, I had a heck of a time trying to sort this out, how I could get them to walk out there. So I went ahead, I invited my friends to come out and watch, which it was awesome because they always support me too, and I greatly appreciated that. At least my one friend, Nicole, who I was able to tell like every step of the way because I couldn't tell anyone else. So, and she always supported me, which was freaking awesome. Almost talked her into doing the course, maybe one day. But anyway, so she came out and I had the idea that I should fake car trouble. So I went ahead, called up my parents and told them, hey, I'm down in Caldwell. I'm at skydiving, and I'm just hanging out with some base jumpers, you know, hanging out with them in between jumps because they're doing some skydives. Unfortunately, my car is having issues. Could you come down and take a look at it? Like, it's urgent. Cool. So I timed it. It's about 15 minutes from my parents' house to the airport. Given that they should probably be immediate, you know, get in their truck and come down, I went ahead and called them as soon as I made sure I was signed up on the load and everything. And they asked me if I was doing a high pull or a hop and pop. I was like, well, give me, or not high pull, but altitude or hop and pop. I was like, I'll take all the altitude you'll give me. Cool. They gave me 10K. So I was stoked. So anyway, about probably after 10 minutes after I made the call, I got on the plane and we took off. And I'm thinking to myself while I'm in the plane that this is freaking awesome. And one thing I would like to bring up that I forgot was one of my other good friends, Jacqueline. I was getting so excited about this that, you know, I probably wasn't thinking the best, but she told me to relax, kind of calm down, and just, you know, I understand you're excited, but, you know, go through, double check, triple check everything, make sure everything is good, that your pack job is good, that you stowed your brakes, that, you know, just double check everything, because when you're excited, you forget. Freaking awesome. Thank you for that, because the potential of me making a mistake was a little bit higher. So anyway, back on the plane, we're going. I'm checking my handle, my pilot chute, I'm checking my leg straps, my chest strap, I'm checking the other skydivers, you know, leg straps, chest straps, handles, making sure they're all good too. So went ahead, jumped solo at 10K. I did backflip exit. I did 4 backflips. Went ahead, did like 3 front flips. I did just kept on having so much fun. I was ecstatic and I was trying to get as crazy as I could with this last jump because I was pumped. I was excited. So went ahead, did my 180. I tracked away. Went ahead and deployed, and totally fine. As I do my control check, I seem fine. So I went ahead, I went into my several really hard turns, and I know I'm towards the, I am flying a heavier canopy, but for me, it was getting pretty good. And then I started wrapping my hand around my toggle, and I started pulling more and more and more, and just kept on going around and around in circles till I had to stop because I felt all the blood go to my feet. So, and oh my god, it was so exciting. Like, especially once I got to about the 2K mark, I start looking, I see little dots on the taxiway. I was excited because I knew that was Jacqueline, my awesome friend, and my parents. So as I see those dots out there, I'm like, oh, now here we go. So I went ahead. I was still at about 2.5, so I wanted to lose some altitude pretty quick. So I went ahead, started doing more turns and all that, just freaking insane. And it was hilarious because as I go into my landing pattern, everything's good. Went ahead, and after my 600, I went ahead, turned into my 300, and then turned in on final, which was awesome because when I was at like 30 feet, my friend Jacqueline told my parents, about 50 feet, she told them that, oh hey, by the way, that's your son. Right as I come in and land, I went ahead, flared, and I landed on my feet, probably about 40 feet away. But the worst part though was at about 10 feet, or about when I was about to start flaring, there was a wind gust, and so that blew me towards the blacktop. So as I start flaring, well, I can't really adjust my direction of flight anymore. So went ahead, just accepted it, and you know, did that, and then I landed it and stood it. I was fine. It was just freaking sucked. So anyway, so I went, ran over, packed up my gear, like, you know, daisy chain, and you know, hold it all up, and I just went over, and freaking my parents were, first thing my dad says, I don't know whether to give you a hug or kick your ass. Oh man, it was hilarious, and my mom was just as equally shocked, because it's like, by the way, that's your son coming out of free fall, you know, at freaking 10,000 feet. And they were, I thought they'd be a little more contested, because that's the whole reason why I kept it a secret till I was done with it, because I know my dad can be a little bit reserved. So, or, you know, in terms of like, I don't want you doing this, it's dangerous, so on and so forth. You know, he's still kind of nervous, especially when I tell him, hey, I want to buy a sport bike. He's like, no, I don't think so. Well, freaking, I'm 26. Anyway, so I'm glad he appreciated that, and it was cool. My whole family was shocked, because my whole family didn't know anything about it. So I thought that was fun. So, but with that, I have went in after and the next day, because they were so busy with tandems, which I totally understand. I went ahead, whenever they had time, I went, took my test, got a couple last minute things signed off on my checklist, and with that I passed my test, and I was 100% good to go. Sent in my paperwork, and pretty much now I'm all set. I got my certifications in the mail, and I'm a certified skydiver. Then I went ahead, after that, I had a couple extra jumps that they gave me, which was awesome. But I had, my graduation jump was a blacktop. I had one other blacktop. My 26 jump was a blacktop. Overall, it was interesting. So, with that being said, freaking, I went ahead from July 21st to September, 14th. I went ahead and I got certified as a skydiver. And I know these videos are kind of long, so I'll break this video up into parts, but I'll just include a couple of extras, like of me actually vlogging and stuff, which I vlogged the whole thing, and just takes a while. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll try and start getting into a rhythm of uploading, getting content and uploading, but I definitely appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Guys, so open that